They rather show the finish line and skip the whole race. They don't know what it takes to know what it takes. You find yourself in working hard, I'm sure you can't relate. Zodiac signs and scheduled post times, it's all fake, they all fake. Do this one thing one time, then everything else is great. Skip over the process like it's a finesse contest. Who can look better while they all overweight? I wanna be real and fully healed, telling the truth all day while I'm alone up late. Just to walk the narrow road, mostly alone. In the end, they all know I really want my race. It's not up for debate, I did it God's way, the right way. I'm done with the passive aggressive sentence through unwinning lectures about how I can do better. I'm in a cycle of lessons, a headache that won't get better. But working hard, my eccentric, making money that cheddar. If they ain't on my time, they cut. I won't settle, I'll never settle.
So when I was talking about with the whole working out thing, like, I don't want to sound bad. Like, I'm not trying to follow trends, but I'm not one of them niggas that just because y'all working and everything, I'm going to just come out there or whatever it is and just follow y'all and think I'm going to get in shape. Like, no. Like, if I'm going to come work out with y'all, I really fuck with y'all and I really want to come work. That's really it. But I think JD had got on his story and said it. He's like, nigga, if you come out here, you will die. Like, like, don't just think you just gonna come out here. Oh, y'all working. No, nigga, these niggas are dying out here. Like, you feel what I'm saying? And that's me. I feel like I wanna stay consistent. If I'm gonna show up, I'm not gonna go and then just y'all never see me again. I'm gonna keep coming. Pause.
Yeah,
that was bad. And my voice cracking.
But I think with that, when I pulled up, it was earlier this year when I had pulled up, and I had went with one of my mans. The same thing. He was just like, bro, you be in this joint working, going crazy in the gym. Like, you can be out here and compete with these dudes. So I went out there one time, and like, people would just look at you and like greet you, but that's it though. Like, you're a new face. Like, you gotta like
prove yourself.
Yeah, and get some kind of skin in the game. And I literally learned what that meant when I went out there. Like I did. We was doing like a push-up circuit, and I was locked in. And I got through it like fairly quickly, like pause, but like fully extending my arms, going back down, doing all types of variations of push-ups and stuff. And when we was about to go in through a whole nother set, something, I didn't know what felt wrong, but something felt off. But I was just like, fuck it. I was about to do some pull-ups and some squats, and then my man who invited me did the same shit that I was doing. Mm-hmm. His hands was bleeding.
I be seeing that a lot out there.
Yeah, and I looked down at my hands. I didn't notice it until I looked at it. But like on the palms of like the last, I guess, fourth of my hand, from like my palm,
you can see the white meat
down. Yeah. Yeah, on both hands. So I was like, damn. And then I ain't had no gloves, no nothing. And I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just take some time to heal. Cause I saw that I can't remember his name. He got a lot of names, but the main dude who runs that, like
Waleed?
Yeah. He did a pull-up competition, and the skin on his hands was messed up. And I know it took time to heal, but I don't know if he took time off in between healing and working out. Knowing him, I don't know him, but from what I see, I'm sure he didn't take time. He probably just was pushing through that, but I did the best that I could. I still was doing shit around my hand until it got healed. So, but since then, it was just like, all right, I need to start training like this so this don't happen again, and I can actually like go through a full workout. Not because, and not to your point, it does make sense to have your stance, but I also kind of want to prove it to myself, because like,
that's
like
real.
how we used to work out, like, and it was challenging, but like we kind of wanted to like the challenge, and that's literally all I want. I don't need to be out there consistent, but I want niggas to know, like, all right, not that I'm going out there showing off, but I can get through a whole session and like compete and like be like one of them niggas that's like, yeah, he not just like doing shit in the gym or on IG. Like, he's actually strong. Like,
he really lived this shit.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And that's my thing too. I feel like I'm going to go out there for me. Like, I agree with you. I'm going out there for me. I'm not going out there just because, nah, niggas is working. Let's do this. Let's do that. I'm tired of that shit. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, no, I'm going out there for me, and I want to prove to myself that I can do that. So I definitely agree. But I feel like, and I think I'm giving like a shout out. I don't know all of them personally. I only know JD for real, but you know, what's called, I don't even know their whole like name and all that stuff, but what's called, JD, if you watching this and everything, like y'all dudes be going hard, man. Like when y'all out in that them pull up bars and all that stuff, I don't know y'all name and everything. I don't want to give a shout out, but I do want to respect game. I can tell that y'all really live that shit. And that's where like this video is coming from. I think this is like a perfect conversation to really be starting it off, because like people don't really, this fitness shit, you gotta live it, you gotta love it. And I think you can kind of piggyback off. I'm gonna let you spill on that, but I feel like anything that you just do out here that you're posting, if you want to be a full-time content creator, whatever that you're doing, like live this shit, love it. You feel what I'm saying? Especially for fitness. I feel like there's been a lot of people that they claim they really in the gym, and I've gotten in the gym with them and I've smoked them. Yeah, straight up smoked them. Boxing, weightlifting, whatever, and smoked them. So, but I can tell them dudes out there, they really get to work, and it's been proven. Like they have stats of what they do, like because they go and compete. So, yeah, that's about it. You got anything else?
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I just didn't mention prove it to myself for sure, not for any recognition, especially from like another man, because I don't really need that. But just cause like just I don't know, just it's something about for me putting yourself through something challenging, like that sense of like accomplishment you get, and then the added extra benefit will be other people who like kind of thrive in that space. They're also like pretty much giving you your flowers, and it's not physical flowers, but like showing that you're accepted within that space as well. And like what I respect about these dudes that we're talking about, it's not calisthenics, it's not just weight training, it's like survival, testosterone building, like mind over matter,
like some David Goggins type.
Yeah, David Goggins. I think it's a mix of all of that shit. I think David Goggins, bro, would like respect the shit out these niggas, like going out there doing that. And I honestly think at some point he'll pull up, bro. At some point, and
if they keep it going,
yeah, like, no, they definitely gonna keep it going. Yeah. But like if they keep gaining attention like online, I definitely think it will make sense for them to cross paths. And then the last thing I'll say, I really respect the legs portion of it, because it's not just weighted dips, it's not just weighted pull-ups, it's not just weighted muscle up, it's not just push-ups or body. Like everything. It's anything. You got to be mentally prepared for anything. And like what I respect about them guys, when I be fatigued in my sets, I take the break that I need. It ain't really no break for real out there. You gotta like find the dog like in you, and then I do everything to prevent injury and to build testosterone and to like stay limber, stay like kind of agile and limber in my movement. And legs is where I'm going with this. Legs is one of those things that like is like a full body, like complementary exercise. I think it's called like a compound like movement. And like I do front squats and back squats, and these guys are doing Zercher squats, and I need to lock in on. And then they doing Zercher carries. They doing Zercher carries up a hill. They doing Zercher carries down the hill. So it's just like, yeah, I'm with all of that, but I need to start training that and getting used to that on my own before I like go out there and not make a fool of myself, but hurt myself. And I'm learning there when I can take the time to learn myself. So I'm not like, it's gonna be a day one out there, but it ain't gonna be my true day one. So that's all I'll say to that.
what's called when it come to legs, you know, that's our shit, man. Like when we was in the gym, beasting and everything, like that's what we started with. Like that's what we were doing. We were doing. I don't even.
Three sets of 12, 225
Yeah,
before anything after the warm up.
yeah, I was gonna say that was like months in. That was
Yeah.
like that's after what we already did like 4 or 5 sets of leg press for 10, 15 reps. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like my legs was crazy. And then, like you said, front squats and all the stuff that we used to do, man, we was front squatting and back squatting 15 reps. Like if we really documented that shit, like people have been looking at us like, damn, these niggas, they get into it too. Like, because we was really like going hard, pause, for like, I want to say, I don't remember the exact day, but I know that was a good 3, 4 months of that. Yeah. But another thing I wanted to say along with the legs, I remember I was training in the gym and this guy, he was bigger than me, pause, but like he was taller, more muscular, and all that stuff. And he was just like, he's like, man, I see what's called people be forgetting to train their legs, and my legs are like a good size. I wouldn't say I'm like bodybuilding there, like on the bodybuilding level, but he was complimenting me. He was like, you know, something about like when it comes to training, and you know, if you really like a man is really crazy or he really loved his workout stuff, look at his legs. Like some dudes be training upper body be built, you know what I'm saying, nice up top and everything, but then got these like little ass toothpick legs or what do you call it, like a Dorito shape, like you like big up top and then small at the bottom. But yeah,
to me that's an insult. That's an equivalent to calling me like pretty boy. Like I hated that shit when I was younger. So now it's 225, 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps.
Yeah,
front squat, back squat, leg press. And that's at least 2 to 3 times a week. But now I'm about to go back to that shit like every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I want my calves, my thighs to kind of quads to kind of like the muscle gains to transfer to my calf.
Mm-hmm.
But it's my calves are slowly building up. But I actually got respect though. When I just came back from the DR. One of my last thing I'll say, but I came from the DR not too long ago, and one of my bros, he's a runner. I ain't gonna shout out his name, but if he watching it, you know who I'm talking
shout
about.
Shout him out.
Well, his IG name is Jamal Strides. So shout out to you, Maul. And the conversation we had, he just gave me a compliment on my calves. Like, so no weird stuff, but we was talking about I was talking about getting my calves stronger because like they're cut and they're defined, but I'm just missing that pop. It's a personal thing. I've gotten complimented on them by like other women and stuff like that, and the people that are in the gym or just see me doing the stuff that I'm doing with the weight. Mm-hmm. But I just want that like look and definition. He was just like, honestly, bro, you good. Like I remember like you ain't have like much to really go off with, and like your shit is like it's there. Yeah. I can see it. You don't got no chicken legs, but it's just like a personal thing. Like I want to like so every time I'm in the gym, like that's my main like focus. I don't want to be a Dorito. I don't want to be a chicken leg. None of that shit. Or pretty boy. None of that shit is like it makes me like all right, bet like I'm about to go harder now. So
yeah, you take insult to pretty boy.
Yeah, that was something that got me like turned on. I mean, pause, but turned up, bro. When I was a kid,
you said that last video. I think you said something about that, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when I was a kid, that shit got me turned up, bro. That shit started almost every fight I got into. You had to say something about my mom. You had to my sister or pretty boy was just like how the steam be coming out your ears and your face be turning red and you just black out. That's what I would like. And I used to play football too, so I knew how to like get active when it comes to like getting aggressive and stuff and like taking your anger and stuff out. And I went to boot camp and everything, bro. Like it was bad. And then I learned to chill out like over some time, like, and that ended up being something I could use to my advantage when it comes to like the opposite sex and guys saying that as a tactic to kind of like mess with me internally. And like growing up and maturing is more like it still takes me back to that place, but it's just more like I pride myself on being humble, so I'm not gonna say anything to humble you, but if you're saying something like that to me, I don't want to have to prove like that you're right, that I am, like with like, you know, your girl or anything like that. So I just be like, you know what, you got it. And then I don't want to expose like my hand either. Like I can't handle stuff that I don't like. So like over some years of like growing, I learned to like deal with a lot of stuff that I'm not okay with, and like it ain't. I've been here before, so it's all good, like for sure.
I feel that. What is up, everybody, man? It's Leak 7 for 7, man. We back with another video. I got a favorite back for y'all, man, because they was in the comments talking crazy, Ralph. Not talking crazy, like they was loving what you was saying. Like, but yeah, man, we got my man Ralph, man, back again. Y'all remember him from the what's called Walking Into Manhood video. How you feeling, Ralph?
I'm feeling good, man. It's the evening, Friday Eve, weekend Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm cool. Had a good workout today. Had a good day at work. So I'm good. How about you?
Shit, man. I'm all right. I ain't gonna talk about all the other stuff. Actually, that goes into what our conversation is gonna be, man. We're gonna dive right into it. But
All right,
I do want to say, like, man, like people was in the comments, like, well, the video that I posted and I shared across our platforms, like people were saying, like, I think one girl was like, "Is he like a psychology major?" Because you had said something that
yeah.
was so real. And then what's called on my story, like everybody was just like, yes, yes, yes. And then TikTok, one person disagreed, but fuck that nigga for real. But it's like, nah, I'm playing. I'm playing. But nah, like what's it called? Yeah, like Ralph is definitely, I had to bring him back for this next video, man, because we was having a phone call. That's what basically inspired this conversation, bro, or this next talk and everything. We basically was just talking about shit. We was just like, bro, there's a lot of shit out here that people do not post and all sort of stuff. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
basis of what we about to talk about, bro. But let's go ahead and get right into it, man. The first question, bro, I'm gonna just ask you, what's something people would never guess you struggle with or have struggled with?
Kind of kind of get personal real quick. It was
Yeah, I
just
know.
like
I know. You want me to ask it one more
I
time?
got upped in my face,
Oh.
like straight out the gate. But yeah, you gonna repeat it.
All right, bet. What's something people would never guess you struggle with? And that's real vulnerable. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. But I'm not. What I will say before I even get into that, like I appreciate the compliments and the feedback that I got from the last video, but it wasn't me. I was just letting, like, you know, God work through me and stuff like that. So that's what that was. But as far as like just being open and honest about what's something I struggle with that people don't think that I do, honestly, just being like decisive, really knowing what you want and standing on 10 toes and being confident in that. I need to elaborate any further.
Do you feel like it?
I mean, I can't.
You don't have to.
I can just for like, because that was kind of like just surface level, but like what I will say, so I don't get like too.
Yeah, you can give like a little example or something just to talk about.
There's like a saying where, like, you know, there's a saying where, like, you know, if you know you got the one, like talking about the opposite sex, if you know you got the one, you just know. Or like, that's one example. And then like if you know, if you're going to school for something like that, and like you're getting asked in high school, or you're getting asked throughout your matriculation through like elementary school and high school, what you want to be when you grow up and stuff like that. Or down to just making like the simplest like decisions. Like it's always been a challenge for me to like just like the first thing be that, and like I'm thinking stuff through and I finally ultimately make the decision, but then I question the shit. And like I've gotten way better. I don't think I'm at the mastery level of it, but like that's something that's definitely like, you know, when people say, you know, when you know, or like, you should know you want to do this. You should have a plan, stuff like that. All of that's like making decisions, and like,
Yeah.
I never been super like confident within myself to be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And then when I have been like, you know, that other saying, fake it till you make it. When I have been doing that, like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Then I wasn't prepared for like somebody to pull my car in the form of, well, why do you want to do this? And why do you want to do that? And then I go back to like not really knowing, because it's not just about making a decision. It's about like knowing why you making the decision, why it matters to you. And it's not for people, it's for like yourself. So when you met with other distractions or other options on any topic, on any situation, that's going to keep you rooted. And like one of the things that's I'm not perfect in doing, but like praying and talking to God to help me through my decisiveness and my um um inability to be like, okay, I'm standing on this. So I've learned to do that after making the decision and forcing myself to stay in that decision, but having the confidence to be like, oh yeah, this is what it is, and I don't even need to like keep up with it, or like
Need validation.
need validation from externally or within myself. Like just being like secure, like yeah, this is that. Like so and then a lot of people honestly really don't know me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't even probably think of shit like that to think about me anyway. So I don't know how I'm viewed as well, and that's not something that I spend my time um dwelling on or trying to control. Like I'm more so, how am I showing up um like innerly, like with my spirit, like how am I making like somebody else life better, whether that's like in my personal interaction or something that I could do for them, or like if we just having a conversation and I've shared something with them, or I've like showed them something within themselves, like, or just being patient, or just honestly just fucking just listening, because everybody wants to like be heard in some sense, but just connecting with people and letting them like be who they are and like vent and stuff like that. So just bringing it back home, um you know, that's something, if people cared enough about one person out of billions, like what they struggle with, to me, that's like being 100% like decisive and shit. And like I've learned like through prayer, outside of prayer being the number one thing, is just making a decision and then sticking to that. And then sometimes when like it doesn't pan out all the way like I would want it to, um being okay with like not beating myself up, but being okay with like, all right, this decision wasn't the best, this is the next best one. So like being okay with like trying and failing and shit like that. So it all plays on like decision making, but that's something like now that I know that about myself, and it's not something that's like, you know, um holding me back at this point, but it's something that I have struggled with for like a really, really, really long time.
Hmm. Dang. I feel like you made a couple of good points. And thank you for sharing that, Ro. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm,
What I want to say is that like two things that you said, and I'm kind of just making conversation, making comments on what you said and stuff. I feel like, and I'm asking God to speak through me as well, like right now while I ask or start talking. But so sorry if I take a minute to get back to my answer for the question, but something that you said, like you will know, like something in your spirit will know when it's like time for to end something, like when it's just all right, like it's officially like all right, I'm done with it. And it doesn't, you can take that how you want to take it. It can be whatever. It can be a job, a person, a hobby. It's just like all right, I'm done with all this. Like it is what it is. And it was something else that you had said along with that. But I feel like for me, like I've struggled with like being indecisive or going back on my word. Like I'll try to, put my foot down and be like fuck it, I'm moving forward. Like this is it. And then I'll be like, damn, was that the best decision? And I'll be trying to pray, or I'm like, God, like tell me this and everything. And I feel like um confidence is something that I don't know, if you got it, you got it, and if you don't, you don't. Not saying that you don't, like probably just in that area. I'm pretty sure you got confidence in a whole bunch of other areas for sure. But just that little small area, I feel like that's something that I struggle with too. But people kind of know that too. I kind of go back and forth on certain things. But what was I about to say? Oh, that's what I was probably going to ask you. Like, how do you think, like, what's something that like helps with that, like, or what's something that somebody gave you like some advice on how to like fight that struggle or get through that, you know?
Yeah. What I will say is like, well, the first thing I wanted to say is like just praying and talking to God, because like my mom and my dad, that would be their go to, and like that would make me so upset because I know they didn't have anything else for me but that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I was a little impatient. Like, I'll be wanting to know now. I'll be wanting to understand myself better now. But, you know, I think I kind of found out through doing that repeated process, like praying and then learning to like, get on both knees and pray. And where I'm going with this is that I think I was kind of blessed to discover confidence is built in repetition, and
Mm-hmm.
that's with like um, anything that I'm confident in. I've proven that to myself. That statement for myself, like when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to like a lot of the certifications that I've gotten in information technology, actually the repetition was like actually studying the information, going through any of the course boot camps, or like reading the books, looking at informational videos, taking notes, studying them, and doing it all over again until I can have a fluent conversation about that information like we're doing now. That's one way. Like in a gym, also showing up, stretching,
Mm-hmm.
um, going full out and doing that every day, like, and continuously repeating that until like stuff gets easier, and then the output will be you getting stronger. The output would just naturally be people complimenting you. So
Yeah.
that's building confidence. And then going back to the certification thing,
Mm-hmm.
once you're reading, once you're studying, once you're doing that over some months, the confidence will be you taking practice exams, you passing the practice exam. It's still going to be scary because you have to have the confidence enough to go schedule the test, to pay for it, to go. I like taking tests in a testing center. I don't like doing it online. So from a laptop. So going to the testing center, being sure of yourself, and then the confidence will be, I know this stuff, and then you'll get the output of you pass and stuff like that, and you have that certification for X amount of years. Or um just knowing if you're going to a new job, like you starting something new, like something completely like left, and like if you're literally going and showing up, not just making a time go by for a check, but you're showing up and you're repeatedly um like fully there, like bringing your full self there in anything, and like you're doing that repeatedly, and you're praying in the midst of all of that. God is going to see all of that, and I think he gave me the I's that I needed to dot and the T's that I needed to cross to make it click and make it make sense. And learning how to like speak to God specifically the way that you need to speak to him, because he literally has all the answers, but it's literally making time for that repetition is something that helped me like understand how I can like build the confidence, and then also keep staying humble too, because like after you get a certain amount of W's, you probably might forget who allowed you to give you them W's, or allowed you to have them W's.
You saying what I was just about to say too, but go ahead.
And then always like kind of reverencing, because I'm not perfect at all. I'm not even trying to get that like out there. Like I make mistakes, like I sin and everything. I ain't proud of it, but like I know I didn't like do any of this. I kept like coming back for more, kept trying to like show myself like, you know, I have no control, no say in any of this. I just kept showing up and kept like, you know, giving that edification where it was needed, where it's needed and where it's always going to be needed. So just to bring it back to the confidence thing, the repetition in anything, but like not just repetition going through the motions, because some people, I do that in some areas. I ain't even gonna fake, but like bringing this one job I had, my manager used to say every morning, like bring your full self to work. And like I didn't really know what that mean, but that just means like over time to me, like being actively engaged, like knowing everything that's going on, like to the point where like you can walk somebody through any situation that has anything to do with this one thing, like showing up and like knowing what it is. And then not just with confidence, like that'll just give you like make you a better like person for this specific topic or area, because like you're a resource at that point, like if you're fully there. So like just repetition for confidence and fully being there, not just having a body there, but like you're there, locked in.
What I'm gonna say, Ralph, because you said a lot of real shit, and I was trying to keep up, and that's my thing. I be having so much to say, and then as soon as I start saying it, I forget everything. But what I will say before I forget, last video, you had said something in the midst of us talking. You were talking about yourself, but you were saying something about, you know, people being on these being successful streamers and all this other stuff, and they're saying keep going. They're saying all this stuff in the camera, getting you hyped up and everything, but there's a lot of steps that we're skipping. There's a lot of steps that you don't see, and people, and that's what I was gonna say as well. Like, why I'm decisive is because I be afraid to fail. I be afraid that I'm making the wrong decision, and it's like in the midst of that, I'm not saying you can't be afraid, but you got to live through that. You got to take them W's. You got to take them L's. Like how you were just saying, you have to. You feel what I'm saying? You're not going to get it perfect every single time. God might be just trying to teach you a lesson. And I think that for me, right now in the season that I'm in right now, my struggle is not necessarily is my answer to the question that I asked you, but more like my struggle is like the job that I work, you know, and I want to leave and all sort of stuff. And I'm always comparing it to my old job and all sort of stuff. And it's just like, I remember how good it was and how up and everything and all sort of stuff. But then while I was up in that area, had so much free time, there were other things that weren't really going right. But then now that I'm in this season where like, I have these W's and I'm like, oh, like I'm winning, I'm up and everything. But this job is just really the main thing that's like kind of, taking me away from what I want to do. But basically all I have to say is that, being indecisive, being what's called not knowing if you're making the right decision as far as like certain things in life, like you have to learn, you have to get those lessons so you might, something that you told me is like, you might be like, just like I'm talking to you right now, It's the same thing. There might be another young brother that might come up to you and be like, listen, Leak, I need some advice on this. And then I give him the game on that. Like, I've been through this and everything and pass it along. But all I have to say is that I feel like in that indecisiveness on certain things, I feel like you can't be afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to take L's. Like, because you might make a dumb decision, but you might end up learning a really valuable lesson through that shit.
Facts.
So, like for me, yeah, I want to say that that's something like you said, just being about indecisive. Indecisive. That's something that I deal with, but I feel like another struggle. I don't even think I'm gonna get to my answer to that question. But did you have anything before I move on?
Yeah, real quick, like just being grateful and having gratitude, because you mentioned like it's not an attack against you, but just like when you are getting what you want, there's when you're praying for what you want. When I've prayed for what I wanted and I've gotten it, whether it's like anything, certification, a certain point that I wanted to be at, or a certain dollar amount, or just reaching new levels and everywhere, in every area and everywhere. It's a trade-off that you have to have. Okay, it's a trade-off that you have, and it's not going to be perfect. Everything isn't going to be like what you would hope for it to be. It can be, but it's going to be things like that's just bound to happen. Like the rain falls on the just and the unjust. So it's just going to be some stuff that will be in the mix of you getting everything you want. Like not picking on you, but like you mentioned like your job situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you went from however you described it
being
to
up.
being up, and then you
still up, but like just the work environment. I talked to you about it.
Yeah.
Same thing I talked about. Yeah.
And when it comes to like, being decisive and being confident, you got to kind of stay rooted in the gratitude and being grateful in what you could not have versus what you do have. Because I think that's going to keep you going. And I think I've told this to you already.
It,
yeah. And then that's something that keeps me going as well when I look at my own life and stuff that I'm dealing with. That's something that helps me. I've even heard recently like, yo, bro, you a better man than me. You got a lot of patience and stuff like that. But I really look at what I could not have, because that's something that's a real thing. And not to compare other people and what they're going through or the lack that they don't have. And really, honestly, comparison is really what's like a really fucked up and really messed up thing. And there's a lot of it's through social media. A lot of it's through trying to be at a certain point that somebody else has reached, not knowing the process that they had to go through. Because when we mention content creators and shit like that, talk about, oh, you got to just do this, that, and you'll get that. And life don't work like that. And everything isn't the same for everybody. And everybody has their own, some people call it like their own road, their own path. Everybody has their own process to get whatever it is that they want. And some people, it's up to God, or some people will call it energy, some people call it fate, but it's up to God to where you end up. So you might want something, but it may not be the best for you. I don't have all the answers, but coming back to being decisive and being confident, staying grounded in like your gratitude, like what you do have, because like it's always something that you will want, but it's always something that you currently have that somebody else is wishing that they had, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a job, whether that's even a freaking body part, bro. Like even then, I be just appreciating, being grateful. I can wiggle my toe. I have all of my eyelids. Like I have no like.
I can see. I can talk.
Yeah, I can see. I can talk. I have no like bone issues, no diseases, no anything like that. So I'm very like big on like the gratitude, because that also helps you appreciate everything you do have. Because I'm guilty of like comparison, but just staying grounded in like, where I'm at, and definitely where I came from, and tracking like my growth, my mindset, my spirit, my physical, my everything. So that that being grateful and having that gratitude helped me, like, you know, stay decisive and like be confident by like looking back at where I've been and like thanking God for like bringing me from that place and like having the wisdom enough to know I will want to be further than that. So
Yeah.
like, and that kind of goes to like personal convos we had like off camera, offline, like just stay like grateful. Cause like, if it is something you, of course, like you will want to get what you want, but like in the process of you transitioning and from what you don't really care for to get what you want,
Yeah.
be grateful for what you have.
Yeah.
Cause like you could not have shit. And like, then when you, God forbid, you get in a situation when you don't have shit, then you want to come complaining to him or other people like, damn, I wish I had what you gonna be like it's that saying, like, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah.
Like what most people be like, that's about relationships and shit.
Yeah.
But literally look at it like, look how fucked up everything is, all the job cuts. Like people probably, I can't connect, God forbid I'm in that situation, but like I'm pretty sure at some point I would bet on people was grateful for what they had in the situations that they were in. And a lot of, I don't have the data, but like humans from my experience tend to value shit when it gets fucked up. Like when it comes to like a car, you don't look at like how important it is to keep your regular oil changes, to spend the money doing the maintenance until shit gets fucked up. You got to spend thousands of dollars. Or your body, everybody knows like something's going on with your body. You know your body, and you'll keep putting it off, when you could have got the early signs to go get checked out and to know like, all right, this shit is important and this shit is needed. So bringing it back home, like, because I've been talking a lot, I don't want to lose my train of thought, but like just being grateful for like what you have and like being a good steward of it and like being appreciative of like what it's doing for you. Because if you let it go too long without being grateful, if you just don't really like acknowledge like the stuff that you do have, you wouldn't really, I don't think you would be able to appreciate more.
Yeah.
And like your spirit would be kind of like messed up. And even if you do start getting what you want, you don't work on your spirit, like you ain't gonna be able to keep it.
Yeah.
You know, so I said a lot, bro. So
No, you good. You set it up for like what's next and everything. Because basically what I was gonna say is, we're going into like the topic of like validation. Right now, it's a disease. Like that's what's going on in the world right now. In my opinion, I feel like validation is a disease, and I remember, and I have a lot to say to piggyback off of what you said, but I remember there was a time in my life where I had to be humble. I had to understand that validation, Instagram, all this other stuff, like this shit don't matter. I do it because I love it, yes, but you should not be doing this to people be like, oh yeah, he's doing something good or he's doing this. Do it because you love it and everything. And it's a very thin line to really separate the two. But I just want to say that I remember in my time, I was going through a breakup, and you know how niggas are like when you get out of a breakup, you know what I'm saying, niggas want to go get in the gym and, oh, I'm in therapy, or oh, I'm, posting Bible scriptures, oh, I'm dressing different, oh, I'm about to go get tatted up and all this other stuff. And I remember trying to do everything just to show that I was good without this woman. And I had the most humbling experience, and it was like, no, nigga, you not. And God put me, kind of going back to that whole thing about a man's greatest battle is his emotions and stuff. Because when he put that mirror up and he was like, nigga, you really got you need to clean your spirit. You got a lot of things that you really need to fix. This content, 20,000 likes, 20 or what's it called, 20,000 views and all this other shit. This shit don't really matter. And somebody had to literally say that, like, bro, you got to do the work. You can't just skip steps and just try to move so fast just because
process.
just because you're trying to like look like you doing good. That the girl, she did the work, and that's why she's able to be in the space that she's in. And I'm kind of like skipping over stuff, but basically to give a little bit more context, this guy basically was like not in the middle of the relationship, but he knew the girl and he knows me, and basically he saw what I was doing. He was like, "Yeah, you're doing a lot of stuff that's good, but that shit don't really matter. You're not doing the work. You skipping the steps." And he saw that. He was like, "Yeah, you looking for validation from all these other people, not even from me. You don't even need that from me. But do the work behind closed doors. Stop trying to like act like you're doing it." And it humbled me, and to see that a lot of shit that I was doing, they ain't really matter. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that I'm gonna let you speak a little bit, but I remember us talking on the phone about validation being the new disease, and I really believe that.
Yeah. The first thing that come to mind was like when you said humble yourself. I heard this. I watched like sermon. I had like a little prayer routine that I do like every morning. How I start my day for like going on 8 years now, and since January 2017. So yeah, 8 years now, and I recently heard. I want to say it was like 1 or 2 days ago, and it's something that I completely wholeheartedly agree with. Humble yourself for yourself, because you don't want God to do it for you. So yeah, you yeah,
You cooking.
that shit hit me hard. I was
That
like,
was cooking.
what, like that's fact. Like, so humble. I think I probably said it. I got it. I got the gist of it out, but like humble yourself.
Sheesh.
But humble yourself, because it'll be better if you do it for yourself than to have God do it for you.
Man.
And that's when it comes to like the validation piece, that could be an arrogant type of move where you're like, seeking the validation and you're wanting it, or you're lusting after it, because we was talking about lust and shit. That's a form of like lust. Like you're wanting that confirmation, and it's not like, it could be with any area. You wanting that confirmation, you wanting that validation, but then when you want that validation and you get it, then you gonna want more of it from other people. And that's something that I personally experienced, like with my music. Like, oh, I send it to you offline, or I send it to somebody, and then I already heard that I need to, for years now, I need to put myself out there, take myself more seriously, all that other stuff. But like, excuse me, validation is like a disease, or is a drug. It's addicting, because you can get caught up in it. But learning to, over the time of like trying and failing, and like even now, not trying to like say anything to keep people on my side, but just really being like humble even in this moment.
Like, it's
like
easy to be liked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like saying,
it's not easy to not be liked, or like people to say shit about you.
Yeah, and like even going back to like something that I heard today, and like, because I was in the gym listening to a message, and like Jesus speaking in parables, and like one of the things, like two of the I think it's two things that I'll say is about humility and being humble. Like the first shall be last, and the last shall be first, and the only way to go up is to go down. Pause. So like literally serving, and like, just not making it about you. So if you're in those spaces, you don't even, validation isn't even on your mind. You're trying to like build somebody else up and lift them up. Like that's what a leader is. That's what leadership is, and that's what like being a man and just a great human being is like serving others and helping them, and like doing the uncomfortable work, and the work that you don't really want to do, and that's within your own personal life, or kind of reaching out, going above and beyond for other people, not because you feel like you should or you feel like you have to, but it's kind of like the right thing to do, speaking in humility, speaking in the lane of being humble and humility. So
Mm-hmm.
it's something that I'm trying to stay in,
Yeah.
but like mastering myself and being humble, because it's a lot of stuff that I know. Going back to the pretty boy thing earlier in the conversation, when I was just like, I could really, if I put the pressure on your girl on a situation that I know I could get in my favor, that's not me being humble. That's me being arrogant and seeking that validation to piss somebody else off.
Yeah.
And to, and I don't, if you know for yourself, like that's unnecessary and you don't even need to go there. You can just, like how you said, clean your spirit out and not even be on anything like that and just like let it go.
Yeah.
So yeah, just being humble, bro, and like that gratitude, all that is, yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is.